What is up, everybody? Welcome back to me, myself, and discoveries in my empty ass living room. If you guys are just joining, this is where I kind of just pull myself to the side and I get real with myself. I discover myself on camera and I break down some real shit and I call myself out on some shit and I work, I apply it to, whatever's going to happen in the future. And, this is just me working on myself. Of course, before I do these videos, I have my little yellow book, a journal, and write down the question and I answer the question. And then I'm like, all right, now that I have my little moment to myself, I'm gonna, talk it out. Because sometimes hearing yourself talk out shit, it makes everything make a lot more sense when you hear it out loud. So outside of, being able to help whoever watches this or motivates whoever watches this, I kind of also do it for my own selfish reason of just kind of wanting to hear things out loud. And, yeah, I obviously hear myself talking while I'm making this video. So, I know this video is like hella late and you guys are going to get like another video today because this question that I'm about to answer was meant for yesterday, but I'm kind of getting to it at like 1 a.m. in the morning. Only because like I had to go to work today. I had a natural hair model search that I was supposed to go to, but my friend got the date wrong. It's not yesterday, it's next weekend. And then I had to go do a client's hair because I gotta get my little side hustle on. It's all about the money, money, money. I got bears in the coop. All right. Anyways, my whole point is I had a busy day and unfortunately I did not get to answer my question in the morning or ask myself my question in the morning and then answer it in my journal book and then do a video. So I'm doing that now. Boom. Commitment. What is this? Day 6, I think. Whatever. Anyways, let's get to what the question was. Today's question was, how motivated am I to change my life for the better? And I felt like it was a good question to answer, because we just enter in 2020, and I'm gonna get real with y'all. 2020, I don't know what to expect, but 2020 has kind of, it started off lit because I was in ATL and I was with my friends and my family and I was drinking and I was turning up and everybody was betting money on my boobies popping out my dress. But once we all went back home to our real lives, it got real for a lot of us. I mean, for me, I found out. Well, first of all, let me explain to you guys. One of my jobs is that I work with children, adults that have behavioral issues, and how I get paid for doing that is through the health insurance of these families. So, just out of the blue, boss calls me up and is like, "Hey, your last day with this family's Tuesday," and I'm like, "What?" And I mean, of course, my emotions is like deeper than just my paycheck because I honestly love the family that I work with. Like they're a crazy bunch, but I got nothing for love. I got nothing but love for this family at the end of the day. But she's like, "Yeah, your last day is gonna be Tuesday because little problem with the health insurance, yada yada yada." So I'm just like, damn. Financially, damn. What am I gonna do? Damn. But then, if you've watched previous videos, one of the things I talked about was letting go of things that I can't control. And I realized this is a situation I can't control. Like, I don't work with health insurance, so I can't fix that problem. And you know, the company I work for, they got to go by their rules. They got to go by their regulations, you know? So, and I can't control that or change that for my own personal gain either. Now, that's not saying that I can't control my income, cuz yes, I can, you know, go fill out job applications online or in person and yada yada yada. Y'all know the whole shebang. Yeah, I can do that. So trust me, I'm not saying that part I can't control. But what I'm saying as far as like keeping the job that I already have and keeping the family that I've been working with, these are the things that I can't control, and I got to let it go. Um and so I did, and I'm still trying to come up with plans in my head for what's, going to be my next move, because my other job outside of that, I can't really rely on it full time. So yeah, that's kind of how my 2020 is starting, but I'm not stressing it. Kind of putting it in God's hands, and I'm just like, you're going to take care of it like you always do. You're going to bring me through this like you always do. So, you know, isn't really starting out the way I wanted, but hey, it is what it is, right? But anyways, on to, like I said, the question about how motivated am I to change my life for the better. Um, I mean, where do I start? Um, when James and I had came back from Florida, we were definitely on a Florida high. Like, we were in the sun, we had the pool, we had the hot tub, we had the jacuzzi, we had all this amazing stuff. And there was just like this peace, this peaceful energy that I wanted to protect so much coming back from Florida. And I tried everything in my power to protect this peace, because it was like something I've never felt before. But I was just so peaceful. And the more that, my days went, and I was trying my hardest to protect this peace, I realized part of what's making this protection thing a challenge is that I'm not happy here. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I came a long way. This is our first apartment together. This is my first apartment. It's his first apartment. So, as a couple, it's our first apartment. As individuals, it's our very first apartment. So, I've definitely came a long way, and I'm definitely thankful for that. And like, I'm working 2 jobs, and then I have my little side hustle doing hair. So, like, I'm thankful for all the things that have happened. Like, I published a book, like all these, things that have happened. But I'm just content here. And going to Florida made James and I realize, like, hey, we lost sight of what the plan was. The agreement was, since we couldn't find an apartment in Boston because it was so expensive, even with me making the money I was making as a nanny, and him making the money as that he is making as a security guard, like, we just really could not afford the price of Boston. So I was just like, you know what? Let's do Rhode Island. Let's stay there for like 2 to 3 years tops. Let's get everything that we need in check. Like, I'm going to work on, building my credit, because my credit is bad ain't the word. Bad ain't the word. But, just things like that I was like, yeah, we're going to work on all that. I'm going to get my driver's license. You're going to get your driver's license. We're going to work on getting 1 car. I mean, shit, if we could afford to do 2 cars, because ideally it would be 2 cars, one for me, one for him. But like, if we could afford to do it, if we could afford to manage it and keep up with it, then shit, we'll both get a car. But if not, we'll start off with one, and we'll just work it out, because you got to start somewhere. So, the whole point of us was to spend like 3 years here tops to just get everything in order. And we realized that we lost sight of that. And I don't really think either one of us know what we have been doing for the past, I think we are going on 3 years here. But like, we don't know what we've been doing outside of just going to work. Going to work, making money, paying rent, putting food in the house. We took our little trips. We had our little fun. We threw our little parties, things like that. But we just kind of got to that point where we was like, we lost sight of that. And this is not what I'm turning 29, he's turning 30, and I try very hard not to let timelines, age, and society tell me what I should be doing with my life at this time. Like, I try not to think about it like, oh, Eudice, you're about to be 29, you should have had your first kid by now, you should have did this, you should have did that. Like, I try not to think about that, and it's so easy for me to shut off society because it's like, whatever, you're not me, you don't live my life, you don't pay my bills, so society, you're not going to tell me what to do. But I'm still human. And the hardest person to turn off, the hardest sound to turn off is me, like my own voice in my head. Like, it's hard to just, like, just not think about it because, there's times where I'm just like, maybe I should have already had this going on, or that going on, or this, or that, or, my own little mini business. Like, maybe I should have had that, and I won't have to keep applying for jobs or keep being in the same situation every few months financially. Like, it's hard. And it's not because society is telling me that. It's because, I'm telling myself that, But like I said, I try very hard to just be like, live your life, Eudice. Don't let it pass you by. Live your life. Do what you got to do, and your time is just going to be your time. Like, one day you're just going to blossom and all these things you're going to have, So, yeah. But to, like, really, really get into, like, how motivated I am about stuff, because I keep saying that, and then I get into these little rants. Um, you know, Once we came back from Florida and we came down to the conclusion that we lost sight of what the original plan was, James, myself, and another one of our really good friends, we sat down and we were just talking about life, and we was like, yo, November 2020, let's be out. Like, let's go to Atlanta. Let's go to Florida. Let's go to New Orleans. Let's find home. Like, what is home gonna be for us? Like, we're all in our 30s, getting ready to be in our 30s, and what is home for us? Like, none of us want to be in Boston where we grew up. We definitely don't want to be in Rhode Island. We haven't, as a group, or as individuals really traveled much. So, like, let's get this traveling in. Like, boom, we went to Florida. Boom, we're going to Atlanta. Boom, now we're creating another trip in May. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we could, all financially do it. But it's like every night now. I'm like, yo, I talked to James. I'm like, yo, I researched this state, and this state. And I learned that over here, I don't need my cosmetology license. I could do natural hair without it. But over here, I'm going to need it and X, Y, and Z, or I'm going to have to go back to school to complete the hours that they need me to complete in order to practice hair in that state. Like, I've been researching like crazy to figure out like what really will work out for me. And then not only have I been researching hair, but like I've been researching if, just in case hair doesn't work out, what's my other options? Like, could I open up a home daycare? Because I've dedicated my life to kids thus far. I've been working with kids since I was 16. So, I've been thinking like, oh, could I open a home daycare? I've been thinking about like my future kids. Like, oh, if I have kids, I want to homeschool them. So is homeschool acceptable in this state? Whatever. Just doing all the research I could possibly do, or think of. Like, I've been looking up health insurance, all that other different stuff. Just to kind of figure out like what sounds like a good spot for us, or, me as an individual, because James is going to have to do his own research, and it sounds like he has. So, I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like he hasn't, but it's like, I'm so motivated to change my life that what I did end up doing was opening up a bank account, and every week I try to put money in it, whether it's like $5 or $30. If I'm balling enough to be like, shit, I'm gonna throw 100 in that bank account, cool. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but every week I've been trying to do like $5, $10, $20, whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, there's some weeks where I didn't put money in it and I missed those weeks because, I had other things to do and other things to take care of. So I couldn't put money in it. But the whole point of this extra account is to basically put money in it and not touch it. Like, I don't even bring the bank card with me. I leave the bank card here in the house. So that way I'm not tempted to do it. As far as like online orders and online bills, that's set up to my Cash App. So Hulu and all that stuff comes out of my Cash App. So it's like I literally have no reason to use that card because I don't bring it with me. And anything that is paid online or through a card or whatever is to my Cash App or my regular bank card. So I've been like putting money in it and I've been just like not touching the account. And, I'm almost at $200. I'm $10 away from $200. And while $200 is like nothing because $100 goes in a day, as a matter of fact, it goes in like 3 hours. Like you could blow $100 that quickly. The way I see it is something is better than nothing. And I don't see it as, oh yeah, I'm only at 190 and I just need 10 more dollars to get to 200. What I see is growth. Like $200 can then become 500, and then 500 could then become 1,000, and 1,000 can become 1,300. So that's how I see it. Like, I see it as growth. Like, yeah, I could sit here and get down on myself like, oh, 200 is really nothing. But we're not making this move until November 2020, and we're not really looking for apartments or anything until August. So it's like, who knows where, that account, what that account is going to look like by the time August rolls around or by the time November rolls around, And then tax season is coming up. So, I'm putting the majority of my taxes in there. So, like, that's how motivated I am to just like change my life for the better. It's to the point, and I know this might sound crazy, but like James and I have invested what's about to be 5 years into each other. It's to the point where he's proposed to me, and I love James. I do. But I'm not big on marriage, and I feel like if I'm going to do this, like I said in previous videos, one and done. I don't believe in divorce. If we have to separate, if we have to go our own ways because we no longer love each other or whatever, it's fine. I could accept that, but I'm not going through the divorce process. It's a no for me. So, like, if I'm going to do this, I want to make sure that I'm making the right choice. Like, yeah, in the videos I keep saying, we want to make sure we are making the right choice, which is true. We do. But I'm also looking at it as, me individually. Sometimes you could spend 5 years, 10 years with a person and they not be the right one. So, not saying that James is not the right person for me, but what I'm saying is, like, I just want to make sure, before I say I do, before he says it. Like, I don't want to be like some of these people, and no offense, because I understand, like, shit happens. I get it. We can't plan for everything. But, like, some people be like, oh, yeah, I got married and the person changed and that wasn't the person I married. That wasn't the person. Or they started acting like this or they started doing that and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, were there no red flags before you said I do? Like, sometimes we see the red flags and we choose to ignore it. So, like, right now I'm just observing everything, like everything he does and how I respond, or everything I do and how he responds. Like, I'm not just sitting there putting the pressure on him and just being like, it's him. No, there's me too and my issues and my bullshit. So, I'm just like questioning everything and analyzing everything and asking myself, mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm testing my strength here. I'm testing my heart here. I'm asking myself, like, yesterday James and I definitely had a tough day with a lot of like going back and forth, and I was so frustrated and so tired, like exhausted, drained. And I was just like, could you deal with this? Like, this is a man that, you're supposed to be marrying. Like, do you honestly feel like you can deal with this? Like, things like that. Because, I do talk about having kids with James. We picked out our future children's names and stuff like that. And, you know, I want, like, I didn't grow up with both my mother and my father. My mother raised me. We lived with my grandmother. That was my upbringing. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But if I can, I hear a lot of parents, oh yeah, I want to give my child something I never had, and they go and buy all these material things. To me, it's not about giving them material things, but what I would love to do is give them the picture of love between their mother and their father. Not separated, not together, not co-parent. I mean, if it has to be that, then it has to be that. Like I said, I can't prevent everything. But I would like to know that I tried my damn hardest. So, with that being said, I'm just in a space where I'm questioning everything, and I don't know all the answers right now, but if it led to us going our separate ways, I'm okay with that if it means finding out who Eudice is. Because that is the main thing right now. Who am I? And if that means walking away from almost 5 years in an engagement to start over because I finally discovered who I am and it doesn't match who he is, I'm willing to do that to get the things that Eudice wants in life. And, that's tough to say. And that's tough to admit. And that's hard to say out loud, honestly. Because, to some people it's like, oh yeah, 5 years is nothing. But to me, to us, it's everything. We've accomplished a lot, in being together. So, yeah, I'm not, saying like, oh yeah, this is going to be an easy walk away. Like, it's obviously not going to. And I'm not saying that that's what it's coming down to, because I don't know right now. Neither does he. But what I am saying is, if that is the result of me finding me and getting everything that I want out of life, then I'm willing to do it. So, I hope like that really answers like how motivated I am to change my life for the better. I mean, of course, there's like other things that I could talk about. Like, I could talk about my weight loss. I could talk about my health issues. As you guys know, some of you guys may know. But I have GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, which the most easiest way to say that is acid reflux. But it's like acid reflux on that shit, on that stuff, Like, it's like acid reflux on Incredible Hulk. So, I could talk about all those things and, tell you everything that I'm doing just to make sure that I'm changing my lifestyle for the better. But we already know the deal with me in the gym and prepping for that and so on and so forth. I think I've talked about it already in some videos. So, yeah, I mean, I think that is seriously how motivated I am, that I am saving money for a house that I haven't seen yet, for a state that I don't know where I'm going to end up yet, but I am saving money for it. I am paying for my car. Did I mention that? Like, yes. So I don't know if I mentioned it, but this video is like on 24 minutes right now. So I'm going to try to rush it. So this is not me taking you guys time up for 30 minutes. And that's if you guys made it all the way to the end of the video. But yeah, like, I've been to driving school before, on and off. This isn't my first time getting my permit. I've got it. It expired. I've got it again. It expired again. I got it again. Then, Rhode Island allowed me to renew it. And I've had driving classes, and then I would be like, oh, it's too expensive, blah, 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 because it does get expensive paying for that. So finally, I just got to the point that's like, listen, you need to turn this permit into a license. So boom, here's what you're going to do. You're going to start paying for your car now. And when you get your car, you're going to start driving that car, because the only way you're going to learn how to do it is if you get your ass behind the wheel and start driving. And my last couple of driving courses, I felt confident. Not confident enough to take the damn driving test, but confident to be like driving around my neighborhood and my area and the places that we were driving around. So I'm hoping that with me paying for this car and getting in my car, that, I'll have some good friends out here who already have their driver's license and wouldn't mind sitting with me in my own car, with me wasting my own damn gas, riding around my neighborhood until I'm comfortable and confident to take the road test. So, on top of me saving money for this house that I don't know what state it's going to be in, or, what job I'm going to have or whatever when I move November 2020, I'm also paying for my car. So, that, my friends, is how motivated I am. And I think that I've taken up enough of you guys' time. And quite frankly, I done twerked my ass all the way home tonight because, my song came on when I got off the bus. So I was sitting there feeling myself because I was all dressed up, had my lipstick on, had my cute little outfit on right now. I'm in my PJs. Boom. But I was feeling myself. I was feeling cute. I was feeling energized. Nobody was outside. At least I don't think anybody was outside. For all I know, people could have been watching me act a damn fool from their windows and shit. But, my leg is tired. I'm tired. So I think I've taken up enough of you all's time. So have a good night. Bye.